Greetings, Warriors. This is President Trachte, and I'm excited to be welcoming you back for the spring semester of 2021. I'm going to do a little video today where we're going to walk you through the arrival process. But before we get into those specifics, I just want to reiterate a larger message that I conveyed in a recent letter to you. We know that the world and our country are in a very difficult situation right now with regard to the pandemic, with record numbers of cases and hospitalizations and sadly deaths. On the other hand, we've also learned a lot about how to contain the spread of the virus and how to treat the virus. And while you've been on your break, a team at Lycoming College has been working very hard to develop a repopulation plan for the spring semester. This plan is a little bit different in that it incorporates doing some screening or surveillance tests using antigen tests. And what we're going to do largely in this video today is to get you oriented to what that process is going to be like. In fact, I'm going to do a test as part of today's video. So you'll be arriving in Williamsport, and as you did in the fall, you will drive to the Craft Gateway Center. You will go through the loop in front of the Craft Gateway Center, and you will park either in the Craft parking lot or the Kuiper parking lot. You should have only one person that has accompanied you in the car, as we have asked you. And when you get to Kuiper, you will be directed inside the building to have the first of your antigen tests. You should plan to go in the building alone and to leave all of your possessions there. So the first part, arrive here at Craft and park, and let's now go over to Kuiper and show you what the rest of the testing protocols are going to look like. Now, it's very important that you arrive on time. Treat this like a doctor's appointment. We're going to have a lot of students coming through in a short period of time, and we all need to be very efficient. The other things to remember, please make sure you're wearing a mask when you come in the Kuiper Recreation Center. Have your phone with you and also your ID card. Well, Dr. Ross, it's great to be back.
Hello, President Trachte. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Great. Let me just check you in here, and I see that you have arrived at the appropriate day and the appropriate time for your test. And I saw that on your way in that you visited our tissue station to blow your nose, to hand sanitize your hands, and that you've left all your personal belongings except for that mask, that phone, and that ID outside. And so we invite you to head down to the temperature screening station.
All right, I'm ready to do it.
Hello, President Trachte. Come on over for your temperature screening. These are the same temperature screeners that you're familiar with from last semester.
Well, great, Jay. It's good to see you. Have you been out doing some outdoor recreation during the break?
I have.
And do we have anything fun scheduled for the spring semester?
Hopefully we'll have lots of snow for a lot of ski trips.
Great, I'll look forward to participating. Well, Warriors, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my ID, go to these temperature scanners, just like you did every day last semester, and just like you're going to do every day this semester. Well, it's great to see you, Jay. I'm going to the next station now.
Hi, President Trachte. How are you today?
I'm fine, Rebecca. How are you doing?
I'm good. Since we're going to be sending you your test results via text message, we're going to confirm your phone number.
Okay.
And then I'm also going to give you a swab and your own test tube. You can take those out of the basket, and then you're going to head to your left and go around to the swabbing booth, and then just make sure you don't open those before you get into the booth.
Got it. Thank you, Rebecca.
You're welcome.
Hi, President Trachte.
Hi, Andy. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm ready to do this, I think.
All right, good. I can help you through this process. First, you need to open the swab package. Remove the cap from the collection tube and place it right there in that holder. Rotate the swab in one nostril 5 times. And then repeat in the other nostril. Go ahead and place that swab in the tube, and you're going to snap off the end. place the cap. And you're going to step out and place the tube in the rack over here and throw away the rest of your supplies and sanitize your hands again.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Wow, that wasn't bad. Now I'm going to put my test tube with my swab in the tray here. Then I'm going to go over and watch a video and move on to the next stage of the check-in process. Well, Warriors, my test is complete, and now I'm going to sit here in the waiting area for about 30 to 40 minutes. And after about that time, I understand I'm going to get a text giving me my results. In the meantime, there's some videos that I can watch, and I know one of them is about antigen tests, and I'm really interested to learn more about them. And then I also understand that we're going to be starting classes remotely for a couple of days at the beginning of the semester, and there's a video about that, and I really want to hear that as well. So I'm sure I'll keep myself busy for the next 30 to 40 minutes while I'm waiting for my results. Well, I just got my test results, and they're negative. So now I'm going to head to the departure station and find out what comes next. Why, Dean Hummel, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you as well.
So I completed my test, I got my text, and I'm negative.
Absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to give you two things. This is your appointment card for 2 days from now. You'll come back to the Kuiper Recreation Center to get tested again.
Got it.
And this is your wristband that you need to wear today. We'll wait for you to put that on before you leave, so we know that you have it on. And that will let people know that you are allowed to be here and that you tested negative.
Great, okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, good to see you, Dean Hummel.
When you receive your negative test result, you will then have a wristband that you'll wear, and you will receive your card that tells you to come back in 2 days for your new testing. You will then feel free to move back into your residence hall. If you receive a positive test result, you will meet an RN or LPN in the departure station, and they will explain to you the next steps of what it means to be positive. You will also be contacted by a member of our case management team, and they will be able to help you transition into your isolation space. It is also a friendly reminder that when you are able to be released from the testing center, you will not be able to have visitors into any of the residence halls.
Well, Warriors, now I'm out in the atrium. I've gone through the entire process. I have my next appointment card, and I know that I'm going to have not only a second but a third antigen test, 2 days after this one, and then the other one 3 days after the second one. So when you come back for these tests, you're going to come to the Kuiper atrium, and you're going to enter through the doors behind me, and there will be someone here to greet you and direct you through that process. Now, as we close here, I'd like to go back to being President Trachte and just talk a little bit more about our spring repopulation protocols. The whole objective is really to ensure that we get off to a healthy start and we don't have an outbreak. And so we've designed a number of things that will have the effect of reducing the likelihood that we could have an outbreak. One of those things, in addition to this test, is we're going to have some different protocols with regard to movement just during the 7 testing days. And what we are asking is that you not congregate inside, because we know that the risk of transmission of the virus is much higher inside than it is outside. You'll have complete freedom of movement outside. We would prefer that you not go out into Williamsport during that time, particularly if you're going to be in a situation where some people might not be wearing their face coverings. But we're going to invite you to go outside, to get some fresh air, to exercise. You can go over to Brandon Park, and we think you'll be able to get through those first 7 days pretty easily. On about day 3 or so, you'll start your remote classes, and then on February 1st, we will go back to the way things were in the fall semester. And we all know that we had a very healthy fall semester, and I look forward to us all taking care of one another again as we go through the spring semester. And next fall, I believe we're going to be back to something very close to normal. So Warriors, I'm really looking forward to seeing you at the end of this month.